These raisins have given me a little bit of a hassle. We've had to go through a couple of learning curves trying to get them done, but I think I've got the problem solved. So, first of all, I just put my raisins in here and tried melting I bought the Ghirardelli milk chocolate chips, and tried coating them, and it didn't work. They just stuck together. So I figured, well, it might be because the raisins do have, even though they're dehydrated, have some moisture to them. So we coated with powdered sugar, and I pressed on with the milk chocolate Ghirardelli's. And again, it just didn't come out right. It took forever for the chips to dry in the drum, which, if you remember, was the same with the almonds. It took forever for that to get hard so that you could add the next layer. So what I thought was, let's try a different angle here. Instead of going with those baking chips, let's try it and use some real premium chocolate. So I went out and bought a couple bars, and I think I had some success with that. We're going to see if I can duplicate that success now. So first of all, we are going to get 2 cups. Now I'm going to go 1.5 cups. That seems to be a good quantity of raisins into the machine. There's 1 cup. 1.5 cups. And this is what we are going to do. I'm going to put that on low. And we are going to put about 1 teaspoon of powdered sugar in there for now. We're going to let those just get coated while I get my chocolate ready. So I got these Ghirardelli Premium Baking Bittersweet Chocolate, 60%. And what I like about this stuff is it's designed to be tempered. See how pretty that chocolate is? I got 4-ounce bars of those. We're just going to break that up into our bowl here. Now the second bar, we're only going to put half of the bar in for now. We'll use that other half to temper it. Give that a spin. We want these raisins well coated to stop them from sticking together. I might just have to get my hands in there to make sure everything's broken up. And you can't see it from there. I'll move the camera in a minute. But we're looking for a really good coating on that. So I'm going to put another spoon, less of a spoon in there, and just get those really well coated. That looks pretty good. We'll know when we start playing with the chocolate. Alright, so on this machine, I'm going to turn that on. We're going to put that on 122. Now this chocolate you do want to melt slowly. You don't want to heat it up. So we're going to bring that up to temperature slowly, stirring it regularly so it doesn't burn to the bottom. And that'll take a while, but it's very important to get this melted slowly. So I'll see you when this is ready. We're looking for at 101, 102. We'll let it get just a little bit warmer. But we're going to stir it fairly regularly. Alright, so we're at 105 on there. That's good enough, I think. So now we are going to drop the temperature down to about the low mark there, which is 86. I'm going to break this chocolate up in here. This is the remainder of that second bar. And we're just going to stir that until it's all melted. Okay, that's all nice and smooth. Right now it's at 87 degrees. We want to keep that between 87, 89, somewhere around there. So we're going to keep an eye on this temperature. I might have to bump that up just a little bit. But that's where you want to maintain this chocolate when we're coating. So let me reposition my camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so you can see the raisins are kind of white from that powdered sugar. I'm almost tempted to put some more on there. I think I will, just a little bit more. Just give it a quick spin. But that is the biggest problem, is the chocolate not sticking. We're going to give it a quick coat. Alright. Now, if you recall, it took forever for my chocolate chips to solidify, but you watch this. So get some on our spatula, just drizzle it in there, not much, just a little bit on your spatula. Let that all drizzle in there. And that is going to dry a lot quicker, or solidify a lot quicker than chips did. I see some that are sticking on the back there, so I'm just going to help those off a little bit, get them back into the middle. I'm not scraping the bowl, trying to get rid of the chocolate like we did before. You let that spin for a couple minutes, and what you do is you watch that chocolate that we drizzled on the edge. That'll turn dull. That means that chocolate has set on the edge, so it's pretty close to setting on the raisins. And you'll see the gloss go on the raisins as well. I like to just run my hands through their fingers like a rake. Feel if there's any balls of raisins sticking together. If they are, I just gently break them apart. far, so good. Check my temperature on my chocolate. 84, so we're going to bump that up just a little bit. Alright, put another drizzle in there. As you can see, it's not much. I'm just running it along the pan, really, not even on the raisins. I'm putting it on the pan, and the raisins are picking the chocolate up off the pan. And that seems to give good results. Probably can't see it from the camera angle, but when I drizzle that in, they look moist, the raisins, and we'll just keep that tumbling, and when they start looking dull, then I'll break them up and I can kind of feel if they're still soft, so still wet. But this seems to go a lot quicker than I did my almonds, so we're going to redo the almond video at a later date. We started this process at 8 o'clock on my microwave over there. I'll let you know how long it takes. It's going to take longer than it will take you to go to a vending machine, put $1.50 in there and press a couple buttons, but you'll have made your own chocolate coated raisins. You get that satisfaction of knowing that you made these. You can't buy that satisfaction. See, they're already getting coated. See, they're already getting coated. And not sticking together, so I am a happy camper. Alright, I will probably, I don't know if I'll fast forward this or we'll just cut it, but I'll see you later on in the process. Okay, we're coming up on half an hour, not quite there yet. There they are, that's what they're looking like. So I'm going to show you what to do, how we overcome if I put too much chocolate in there. So I'm going to put too much in there. Not a whole lot too much, because it is a process, but I want to show you what to do if you put too much in there and you have a problem. Alright, I don't know if you can see that, but it's sticking to the walls. It's coming down in chunks instead of nice and individual. Well, that's okay. We'll overcome that. We're just going to leave it sit for a little bit. Okay, there's hardly any movement now. They're all sticking, so I'm going to take my thing, put this rounded edge along the edge of the bowl, gently and very slowly, starting from the front, work my way back and knock those off. And just keep doing that. And that gets rid of the bowl. And you might have to put it along the back of the bowl too, get it off the back. So So I'm coming in it from down and around the edge, from the front to the back, very slowly and gently. You're not trying to scrape anything off the bowl, just trying to knock them loose. Okay? Now they're still a little bit wet, but now they're flowing again. See how that works? So I just wanted to show you that in case you do overdo the chocolate, because it's easy to do. You get carried away, you want to try and speed things up. Now we're going to let that turn for a little bit and dry a little bit, and then I'll get my hands in there and I'll just make sure we're not have any lumps. About a minute or two so that chocolate starts to harden. So they're not quite hard yet, but we want to go in here and just with your hands like that and just grab a few and just kind of roll them between your fingers and break any lumps up you feel. You do want to do that while it's kind of moist before it's totally dry ready for the next coat. And there you go. We have just recovered from doing too much chocolate. See that? Alright, so we're about halfway through. It is exactly half an hour now we've been doing it. I'm about halfway through my chocolate. Maybe a little bit less. I'm going to press on. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we've been at it exactly an hour. And to be quite fair, those would probably be just good the way they are. They're well coated. But I've got that much more chocolate in there, so I am going to press on and get rid of that chocolate. I'll see you when we're done. I'll let you know how long it took. Okay, it's 9:30, so it's been an hour and a half. I'm going to put my last coat on there. I'll make it a little bit heavier because I'm going to get rid of all this. That was a bit of a thick coat, so I'm going to let this run until they're nice and flowing. Breaking them up as I go. Gently putting my hand in there and grabbing a few and rolling them kind of gently. Break up any larger balls. There ain't too many in here. But the later you get into the process, every time you add chocolate to this from the pot, you're actually melting some of the chocolate that's already coated. Just the heat from the fresh chocolate. Just to let you know. So it kind of slows down the in between coats, or takes longer in between coats because you're actually having to cool down the new chocolate plus some of the older chocolate, if that makes sense, that got melted with the new chocolate. I just want to get this nice and flowing before I take my gloves off. Alright, so I'm going to get this all cleaned up while that's running. Wash these pots and my spatulas and all that stuff, and I'll be right back. Okay, if I haven't told you before, I need to tell you, you want to make sure you never add not even one drop of moisture on your hand into that chocolate. If it's too humid, you might have a problem. Any moisture will ruin your chocolate. So always make sure when you wash these before you use it the next time it is totally, absolutely dry. Your hands are dry. Your spatula is dry. Everything has got to be bone dry or you'll ruin your chocolate. I'm just going to run my hands through this one more time. Make sure there's no big lumps in there. These are looking really good. So let's turn this off. Take our bowl off. There you go. We'll get that all cleaned out. There's my chocolates. Look at those. Those look absolutely gorgeous. Now these could be eaten just as they are, but we are going to try and polish these up. The last batch I did, test batch, I didn't get much of a polish on them. So I'm going to change my formula just a little bit. But we're going to let these sit. You want to let them sit several hours just for that chocolate all to harden up. You don't want to go rushing to this next step, which is the shining. You want this nice and dry. Now it's 9:45 at night, so I'm just going to cover these. I'm just breaking up any ones I see stuck together. I mean, there's tons of them really, but I think you'll agree they came out pretty nice. Not as lumpy as my first batch, which is more like a raisin cluster. But we got the technique down. Slow. I never ever put that on anything above the stir mode on my KitchenAid, by the way. But that's all we needed. And we just added our chocolate very slowly. And we let that dry in between coats. Dry enough to where we could stick our hand in there, rake it, and break it up. And you can feel that it's kind of dry. And then we add another very small coat. There you go. I'll get these covered up. I'll get this washed out. And next time you see these, it'll be tomorrow for me after work. And we'll try and put a shine on those. I'll see you then. Okay, this has been setting out for several hours. Nice and hardened. Check that out. All those nice raisins. So we're going to get those into the snack coater. Like that. Now we are going to open up our gum Arabic powder. And we are going to put one, 2, 3 teaspoons of the powder into a cup. And what I have here is 1/2 cup of water. I'm doing it this way, see if I can make a difference on dissolving that without getting as many lumps. Now I still got the lumps in there. That's alright. I'll put that in there. Give that a good stir. Get rid of those lumps. They'll float to the top. Alright. Pour that into our squirt bottle. Alright, let's turn that on low, and we're going to very sparsely, that's a good word, spray that. Get them moving around. Alright, so that looks good enough. Just a couple quick squirts in there. We're going to let that spin for 10 minutes. So I'll see you in 10 minutes. Alright, so that's been 10 minutes. So once again, we're just going to go in there and make sure they're not damp or anything and not sticking together. Breaking any parts that if you feel like it's sticking together. And those seem pretty good. So we're going to do another squirt, a fine mist, and we're going to give it another 10 minutes. Now during this process, this 10 minutes, just keep an eye on it, and if you see it starting to stick, just use a scraper and knock them back in. No biggie. So I'll see you in 10 more minutes. Okay, that's been another 10 minutes. Nothing sticking on there. They're nice and loose still. So this is my third spray. Let that go for 10 minutes. Alright, so that has been 30 minutes. And they're more presentable, but I am not in no rush. And I got plenty of this, so I'm going to do another coat. Okay, that's 4 coats. So they are not as dull as they were before. So I'm happy with that. They're not as shiny as I'd like them to be. They certainly look presentable. Now here's some that I did my test run to get this down pat. So I've already coated these, and they've been sitting out for a day now. So I'm going to put those in and just see if it makes a difference by sitting out a day and adding another coat. So I'm going to add another coat to those. Okay. So these are the ones that had been coated and set for a day. And I just put another coat on them, and you can't really tell the difference. So there you go. Mix those all up. So there you have it. Chocolate coated raisins. And let me tell you, these taste delicious. So I hope you enjoyed that little journey we went on. And I hope you enjoy these. It's not for the faint-hearted. It does take some time. But look, we made this ourselves. We didn't buy it from the store. That's got to give you some pride. I'm super happy with these. And we'll move on. I'll try another load of something different. I'm going to try popcorn, because that is going to be more of a freeze-dried texture, which is going to be something really, really light and fluffy. We'll see if we can coat some popcorn. So I'll let you know in the next video if it ain't popcorn, it didn't work. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.